I'm not sure what you mean, Alan.
I was just thinking, Terry, about you showing up at my son's wedding in New York.
Well, I thought I explained that to you. It was just a misunderstanding with the note at the police station. You saw how embarrassed I was.
You know something? I don't believe you.
Okay. You're right. I made it up, the whole thing about the invitation. I heard about the wedding, and I decided to go to New York.
But why? That's what I don't understand. It was an intimate gathering of family and friends. You really didn't know Harley well. Why would you want to come to New York?
Because of you.
Because of me, huh?
Yes. I heard what had happened at yours and Annie's wedding, how it never quite went through, and
What kind of game are you playing with me, Terry?
I am not playing a game, Alan.
So you come to New York to be with me. I invite you to be with me on Thanksgiving, and you don't show up. None of this makes sense. I had enjoyed being with you very much on the wedding day. And
so did I.
And I was looking forward for you to be with me on Thanksgiving.
Look, you are such a sweet man. And in all honesty, I didn't want to make it awkward for you and your family.
Awkward for me and my family?
Yes. Thanksgiving is a day to be with family. Alexander had just come home.
What does my sister have to do with this?
Well, in case you haven't noticed, Alan, she's not too keen on outsiders.
How would you know that?
I'm a detective. I make my living reading people. At the wedding, Alexander made it quite clear that I would not be a welcome addition to Thanksgiving dinner. Unless, of course, I was the one being served up for dessert.
I would pay little attention to my sister,
Wait a second.
Terry.
Listen to me. Alex scares me, and I carry a gun. Okay, that was supposed to be a joke. All kidding aside, you must have seen how she was looking at me that night at the wedding.
Look, I don't care what my sister or my family thinks. I am the one who invited you.
And I wanted to be there. I really did, Alan. It's just that... We hold that thought for a second, please? Reva.
You don't by any chance know where Frank is, do you?
No, I don't. Is there a problem?
This.
Body missing from Springfield morgue, so?
So? Don't you think it's a little convenient how that body disappeared the night before Annie Dutton died?
Let me see this.
I mean, it's classic Annie. She connived to get me away from Joshua. She coerced her ex-husband into stealing drugs for her. Getting a body was a cinch. It's all in a day's work for her.
Okay, we're looking into this case. I'm aware of it. The DA is investigating this slip-up.
Slip-up? We're talking about a dead body, Terry.
Okay, we're hoping it's just a bureaucratic screw-up, all right?
So how often do human bodies just disappear?
Not often, but it has been known to happen. I don't want to get all excited about some trumped-up newspaper article. We got a new DA in office. He's just trying to pull headlines. That's all this is about.
You will never know Annie the way I do.
Don't be too sure of that, Reva.
It all makes sense to me.
What makes sense?
Oh, come on, Alan. The truth is right there staring you in the face. I mean, it explains everything that's happened. Annie Dutton stole a body and she faked her own death. She's still alive.
You think Annie stole a body from the morgue? I mean, I understand what you think this woman's capable of.
No,
Reva.
I know what the woman is capable of.
It's impossible. She didn't have access to the morgue.
We're talking about Annie Dutton. She'd dig up her own mother if she thought it would help her.
Reva, I will not have you desecrate Annie's
come on,
memory
Alan,
in my
you
presence.
know it's true. When she wanted something, she'd stop at nothing to get it.
Terry, when did the authorities realize that the body was missing?
Oh, come on, Alan. You don't actually believe this.
You know something, Terry? I'd really like to talk to Frank about this.
Well, he's not here right now, Reva, and you can talk to me. Frank and I are partners. I know as much about this case as he does.
I think I'll stop by the station as soon as I know Frank's on duty.
Okay, wait a minute, please. I'm sorry if you think I'm dismissing your theory. I'm not. But you do have to admit it sounds a little far-fetched.
Not if you're talking about Annie Dutton, does it, Alan?
Reva, I saw her die.
You saw the boat blow up.
And you think the person in the boat wasn't Annie? That the person in the boat was the person missing from the morgue. Is that it?
Makes perfect sense to me. It's something Annie would do. She was a genius at creating illusion. She was never quite what she seemed. You more than anyone know what that's like, Alan.
Yes. Alex, can this wait? I'm right in the middle of a meeting. All right. I'll come home as soon as possible. If you'll excuse me, I have to go home. But I want to continue this conversation later, Reva.
Annie did a real number on him. I know how crazy this all sounds if we were talking about an ordinary person, but we're talking about Annie Dutton. She was a sick, twisted psychopath.
Okay, Reva, you've made your point. But you can't expect the police to look for a woman who's presumed dead just because of a hunch.
You call it whatever you want, but I know she's out there because I can sense it. And I will find her and I will bring her back to justice if it's the last thing I do.
Husk includes the 50-cent tour.
Oh, you have such a beautiful home.
Hey, and there's room for your in-laws to stay over. Absolutely. Look at the look on Spaulding's face. No, just kidding. You're welcome anytime, Buzz.
I like the bathtub.
Yeah, we're thinking of starting a new
bathtub.
Thanksgiving tradition, remember? Hey, I wanted to thank you guys for coming to New York.
Oh, of course. We would not have missed it for the world.
Well, it meant everything to Philip to have his
Good.
best friend there. It really did.
Yeah.
What have you guys been up to? I haven't seen you.
Oh, well. Well, we had a ball when Kevin and Jason came to visit us, and those boys just breathed life into the house. And it made us start thinking that maybe we might want to have some children.
Really?
Maybe.
Oh, that's so great. You guys are going to be such good parents.
So will you and Philip. He is so wonderful with Lizzie.
He is. He really is.
Yeah.
And, you know, we've talked about having a child of our own, but I think we're going to wait a little while and just spend some time together first.
Well, I'm sure that you will know when the time is right.
Yeah. Well, I knew when the time was wrong. So, but I've reconciled giving my child up for adoption. Of course, there was a moment when I was at the ceremony and I wish she was standing there next to me when I got married, but really I just want Daisy to be happy. I think that's what any mother would want.
Okay.
Look, I know you're upset and you have every right to be. The guy would have to be a complete idiot to come back to Springfield.
Well, you clearly don't know him the way I do.
How the
Frank.
hell could this have happened?
Like I said, Dad, he had one hell of a lawyer. Jen, I promise you, I'll do everything in my power to protect the family. And every cop in Springfield will know Jeffrey's face.
Oh, please. You know, he must have known that this was going to happen. That's why he wrote to me. That's why he's been taunting me with those letters.
Frank, he's threatened her in writing. Can't we get a restraining order? Anything like that?
That's not going to hold a man like this. You know that. Look, at the moment, I don't want anybody else in this room to know about this, all right? This is meant to be a happy day.
Better make sure the coast is clear.
We're not in. Leave a message at the beep and we'll get back to you.
Yes. I have a message for you, Jenna. And I hope you realize this is for your own good. And for the children. The children are the future. Why haven't you learned that by now?
Alex?
Alan, good, I'm glad.